Today is a very, very special day here at the Dove. This is our window indoor-a-thon for the City Life project in downtown Medford. And I don't know how we're keeping people busy and not getting speeding tickets, but by the way of magic and fast driving, we have Bud and Kevin in the studio with me right now. And just a few moments ago, they were with Paulina out there on the street. And guys, exciting day.
It is.
Got a lot going on down there.
Absolutely.
All right. The picture we have with Paulina, sure she is. She's standing between the two buildings, Hearts with the Mission and the new one being built. Hi, Paulina. How are you?
Good morning. Can you hear me there?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're doing fine. In spite of the motorcycle that just drove by.
Okay. Kevin, Bud, it's nice to see you there. I wanted to thank you. I didn't get a chance to do that when you were here. But, you know, I was thinking that what a blessing it is for the Dove to be part of this project, and I really just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing us to be part of this project and to help you raise money for this building that will, at the end, when it is completed and when we have all the doors and windows in, will be a blessing to so many children in the area. So I want to thank you for that.
Well, they're here in the studio now, and gentlemen, well, Bud, describe what we see there.
Well, you're looking at the City Life project, and you know, the large entrance there in the center, that's where, you know, the main entrance to the City Life Community Center club room is really what we call it. And that is where, you know, we want kids to be coming in and feeling at home, feeling like there's a place that they belong, and adults that will care for them and love them. The front entrance is our administrative space entrance, and then you head up the stairs to Kevin and his folks' offices, and also my office will be there, and Deanna will be there, and all the rest of the
Well, you see
staff.
those black holes there, those are where the windows need to go. And this building has popped up out of the ground fairly rapidly in the last several weeks. And you're to the stage now, guys, where you need the windows and the doors. And that's what today is all about.
Yes.
And I understand a contractor has stepped up and said, you get the windows and doors and I'll install them. Is that right?
Windows, yep.
Yep. Okay, and we have 30 windows, folks, that need to be purchased. And let me just give you an idea what you can do. 2 windows at $112.50. Come on, I think we have one of those, and we need one more picked up. 22 windows at $98, and I haven't done the math, but I think about 5 or 6 of those have been picked up. So we have quite a few more to go. Maybe you and a family member can partner on a window for $98, okay? We have 2 windows at $71. I think one more of those to go if I've done my math right. I think the 2 windows at $65.50, they've been picked up. We have a big window, 2 of them. These are tempered glass windows at $163, so we need those to be purchased. And still quite a few more doors at $600 a piece. And those are a little expensive, but that's what the code requires for you to have in those buildings. Those are already the big core, hardcore doors with the frame, the middle, and everything, right?
Yep, and that includes installation.
And that includes installation.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe you can partner with a family member or friend and buy a door. The number is 779-3275. 779-3275. You've got some folks over there taking phone calls.
Yes, we do. It was kind of cool. When it got to overflow, it actually went to Hearts with a Mission. So we got to play too.
Good. All right, and well, let's go back to Paulina, because Paulina, who do you have?
Well, I have next to me here is Jessie Lanford. She's the shelter manager with Hearts with the Mission. And just to let you know, behind us is the City Life building. That's the new project that we're working on today and that we're trying to get windows and doors for. But to the, let's see, left of it, right of it, is Hearts with the Mission building, and that ministry has been around for about 4 years, and Jessie has been part of it. So from your perspective, you're the shelter manager. How significant is the new building, the City Life building?
Yeah, it's exciting for us because it's giving our kids more opportunities through Youth for Christ programs. They have their HATS mentoring program, their Teen Mom program, also their campus ministries. And it's just something for our kids, extra ways for them to be involved.
Now, when the kids come to your place, you have about, you said 16 beds, and then you give them shelter. With this new building, you're going to provide them with recreation, mentoring. How is it going to help what you're doing right now?
Yeah, what it's really going to do for us is open up a lot of space. As you can imagine, if you had 16 teenagers in a pretty average-sized home, that's a lot of people and kids to be in one house. So in the afternoon, it's going to give them something to do. and just free up a lot of our time. Also some quieter spaces for counseling offices, which is going to be very important.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you all for partnering with us, and you can hear the construction is going on. We have a lot of people working on the site here, and you can be part of it by calling 541-779-3275 and buying a window or a door. We need about 30 windows and 27 doors. So give us a call right now, 541-779-3275.
All right, thank you, Paulina. Thank you, Jessica. You know, it says it all. And I want to say, you know, Kevin, when you were building Hearts with a Mission, one of the most fun things we got to do is go in there and write scriptures on the wall. Are you about at that stage now, Bud? Do you guys know? Are you about there?
Well, we've written scripture on the foundation and on the floor joists, and so yes, we're at the stage where you can certainly go in and write something on one of the wall studs, or you know.
So bring your Sharpie and your hard hat. I got mine, and you go on over there and you get your Sharpie and write on the walls. Now's the time to do it, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, it's important, you know, where God's Word is surrounding, you know, some of the circumstances that we're dealing with every day with these kids. So.
All right. Let me just thank a couple of folks. Let's see here. Cheryl from Medford called in. She gave $50. Ron from Medford bought the last of the $112.50 window. Thank you, Ron. Okay. Chris and Tammy from Medford bought a $98 window. Bob gave $100 towards windows. Rob and Deb gave bought the other 112, so those two windows are bought. And Kurt gave $100. Now you can give any amount you want towards this project. If you can't afford a big window or a big door, that's fine. Just do what the Lord's leading you to do. It'll go towards the purchase of these windows and these doors. And the phone number is 779-3275. You can call there now, and Bud and Kevin's team will have you on and off the phone quickly. If it's more convenient for you to do it online, you can see the whole list of doors and windows online, and that's at citylifeproject.org, and you can take a look at everything that's there and see what the Lord's leading you to do, and that's safe and secure as well. And that's citylifeproject.org. And really, I want you guys to kind of help me with this. It's not about that building. That building is just a tool to do what God called you guys to do. You know? I mean, you're not contractors. You're not installers. You are ministers to
Absolutely.
kids. You know,
and you know, the more poignant thing is, you know, not looking at that building, but if you panned the camera down the street, or you know, looked in around that neighborhood, the kids that are, you know, basically in a lot of ways left to raise themselves. We see those kids after they've gotten locked into bad, you know, destructive behavior, whether it's a juvenile justice or our teen moms mentoring. You know, the family situations are horrific, and that's when Kevin is seeing them. You know, when the family situation is dangerous and those kids need to be out. And so, you know, that's really the point, is the kids, and the building gets built. That's when the work really begins.
And Kevin, how many can you minister to there now? You got 16 beds, is it?
16 beds, yeah. Currently, I think we have 11 kids staying with us. And, you know, just in looking at it, it's just amazing to me that this is a community center. And the people that are going to be working at it, that'll be serving at it, that'll be volunteering at it, are all people that love Jesus. And I think it's just a huge statement. I think that from the faith-based community, to be able to say, you know, this is something that we're creating because we love kids.
Well, I still stagger at the stories that both of you guys tell me when you're on the show here, that I've experienced myself, and the phone calls that we get here at the Dove. There's a lot of problems in our culture and in our society, but one of the saddest ones is to see how many kids are just falling through the cracks. And I want to commend you two guys for being pioneers in a new area, and that is taking both of your ministries, collaborating together, and making sure no kid falls through the crack. And this is ministry being used wisely. And upstairs, it'll be the administrative offices of both of these ministries, and then downstairs is where the actual ministry is going to take place. You're going to have a computer lab there. Kids can learn computers and do their homework there. Recreation areas, obviously counseling rooms, and rooms that you can just love on them. I mean, that's the bottom line, isn't it?
Well, it's authentic relationships. I mean, the more hurt and abandoned a young person is, the more important trust relationship. You know, you can't influence a young person if they don't have your trust, and so or you don't have their trust. Right. And you know, that's going to come through a long-term, committed, loving relationship with a caring adult, godly adult.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. The phone number again, if you want to buy a window or a door. Now, folks, we're a little over halfway there, so let's see if we can, in the next hour or so, get this taken care of. We can do that. If you feel the Lord tugging on your heart, that's when you pray and obey, and God will take care of the rest, okay? The number is 779-3275. Whether you can buy a complete door or a complete window or not, just do what the Lord's leading you to do. 779-3275. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back. We'll go back out to the site itself and talk to Paulina and Jessica. We'll be right back. 779-3275.
Hi, I'm Paulina and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Well, we've done a lot of things on this program, but today is one of the most fun and exciting things to do. And I like Paulina, I want to say to Bud and Kevin, thanks for letting theDove be a part of this. And today is the day, we're calling it a window and door-a-thon for the new City Light project, now well under construction in Medford, right next door to Hearts with the Mission. And it's strategic. All of this is strategic. I looked at how God put you there, Kevin, with Hearts with the Mission. When I first saw that house, I thought, you got to be kidding. You lost your mind. But it just shows you that God can do something with nothing, and that building was nothing.
Absolutely.
And today you got 16 beds, and you're ministering to kids. And right next door is a brand new building going up. It's under construction right now. The walls are up, subfloors in. The sheeting's on both the walls and the roof. And we're asking you to prayerfully consider helping with doors and windows. And we're a little over halfway there. And whether you can buy a complete door or window, that's between you and the Lord. But do what the Lord is calling you to do. Maybe you can give $25 or $10 or $5 towards this project. But we do have quite a few more windows at $98. Could you buy a window at $98? And we have quite a few more doors to go at $600, but that is a complete door installed to code. And when you're building a building like this under all the commercial codes and everything you guys have to go through, you can't. You got to do that. I mean, that's just one of those things you have to do. It's one of those hardcore, solid core doors with the metal frames and everything. And maybe you can partner with a family member or a friend and buy a door or a couple of doors. The number is 779-3275. That's a special number set up at Youth for Christ and Hearts with the Mission today, 779-3275. And they'll have you on and off the phone quickly, or you can go online at citylightproject.org. All right, let's go back out to Paulina. She's literally standing between the two buildings with Jessica this morning, or Jessie, excuse me. And hi, Paulina.
Good morning. Yes, we're here by the City Light building, the project that we're trying to get windows and doors for this morning. With me is Jessica Lanford. She is the shelter manager for Hearts with the Mission. And I think while most of us are used to our everyday lives and the comforts of our home, we don't realize how big the problem is. And just you're in the heart of it, literally. I mean, you have teens walking in every day or every week with their problems and their concerns, and you're right there trying to make sense for them out of this life and help them. So tell us, how big is the problem in Jackson County?
Yeah, well, Jackson County does have one of the highest teen homeless rates in the state. And we see a lot of situations where kids come in and maybe just have the clothes that they're wearing, or are coming from a very sad situation, and then that's where we come in and do everything that we have in our power to help them out.
Now, before we started the broadcast, we saw one teen leave the building, and that was pretty encouraging to see. He was packing his stuff and getting in the car, and you said he was going home?
Yeah, you know, it's a sad and happy day when the kids leave, because obviously we We grow to love them and care for them, and we're a big part of their lives. But our ultimate goal when they're in our shelter is to get them reunited with their family, because we know that kids belong in families. Kids want to be with their parents, and so whatever tools we can give parents and kids to make that the most successful, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and there are a lot of successes. I mean, it is a big problem, but there are a lot of success stories. So, but thank you all for helping us today. Again, the phone number is 541-779-3275, where you can go online to citylifeproject.org and help us get windows and doors for this building.
Thank you both. And I don't know if you noticed that little kid behind Paulina and Jesse jumping there. Obviously, one of the kids that is sent from the home that you don't have quite control over yet.
Well, obviously, she's out there talking. So.
Do you know that little guy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay, he was jumping up and down, having a good time. Well, he's got his moments of fame there on the Dove TV. All right, the phone number is 779-3275, and we're asking you if those watching on the Dove TV this morning. By the way, you can watch it online at theDove.us or through the new Dove app, and you can see the beautiful building being constructed right behind Paulina, and you can see the holes where the windows and the doors goes, and we need to plug those holes with real windows and real doors, and today is the day. So pray about it. 779-3275. We have quite a few more windows to go at $98. So could you buy one window at $98? If you can, and the Lord's leading you to do that, do it by faith. The number is 779-3275, 779-3275. And I think we have one more window at $71 to go. If I'm doing trying to do the calculations and talk at the same time. So, and then we have quite a few more doors to go at $600. Maybe you could partner up with some friends and buy a door. And that again is 779-3275. Guys, what brought you two guys together? I mean, that's kind of a miracle. And I don't know if we can get the short version of this, but something happened that you two guys realized, wait a minute, we're ministering somewhat to the same families and kids, but there's still a hole here in the middle. How'd that happen?
Well, interestingly enough, God was basically speaking to both of us at the same time. We just didn't know that. Yeah. One of my primary concerns with the shelter was the spiritual aspect, you know, of what we can do, what we can't do, but really wanted to make sure that God was a part of our everyday life, and especially in the lives of our staff. And so just out of the blue, I called Bud one day and said, hey, would you be interested in providing a mentoring class for all of our staff? And that's just kind of how the conversation took, and from there, God took over.
Well, how did the vision of City Life come about, Bud?
Well, the City Life is a ministry that YFC USA has. It's one of our core ministry methods, basically. But, you know, in talking with Kevin, when we were chatting and really starting to talk through, you know, what he was wanting to do in terms of the ministry moving forward, where we were looking to go, you know, he was talking at a point where he needed more rec space and wanted to open a youth center, something that would be, you know, right there for his kids, but also the neighborhood. And really that's like, wow, wait a second, that's exactly what we're hoping to do. And we're needing administrative space, and he needed administrative space. And so, you know, it really became clear, and also with our work in mentoring the kids at Hearts with a Mission, matching mentors, we've been doing that for a couple years, just became really obvious that both organizations were functioning separately, but really come together perfectly in the life of a kid. And so out of that, City Life was like, you know, born.
Well, and the other thing is, you look back on these projects, you realize you had a building. God made it arranged for you to sell that building, have those funds available. You were in the middle of a project. You were renting office space. You're out of office space. Believe me, I understand all those pressures and challenges. And all of a sudden, it just started to kind of fall into place. And look at this. I mean, up out of the ground comes this building. How many square feet is this?
6,800 and 52 or something like that.
It's just a beautiful thing to see happening. And folks, this isn't a piece of paper with an idea. This is coming up out of the ground, and they're actually at the stage right now where they need the windows and the doors to go in to keep this project on track so they can open it early this fall. And we'll get an update here shortly on where we're going with all this, but whether you can buy a complete window or door, that's not really the point. Just do what the Lord's leading you to do. Maybe you give $100 towards a door. 6 of you that would do call right now. 6 of you could give $100 towards a door spot. It's as simple as that. Maybe you can give $50 towards a door, $25, whatever the Lord's leading you to do. And we still need quite a few more windows at $98. So here's the number, 779-3275. 779-3275. Let's light up the phones. Let's jam them over there. Let's see if we can make the people at Hearts with the Mission and Youth for Christ speechless. 779-3275. And let's get this done. Let's go back out to Paulina. She's literally standing on the streets with Jesse, and they're between the 2 buildings. You can see Hearts with the Mission off to the left and the brand new building off to the right. And pretty exciting out there.
Yes, the construction is going, the cars, the motorcycle, the kids, everything is going crazy here. And today we're trying to complete this building with windows and doors. That's the next step. So please give us a call at 779-3275 or go online to citylifeproject.org. Now, Jess and I were just talking about what Hearts with the Mission and Youth for Christ are doing for the kids and how City Life Building Center will help. And one of the things, Jesse, you mentioned was the aftercare program that you have and how you're trying to stay in touch with the kids. So how is this new project will help you do that?
Yeah, well, what we tell the kids when they come in is that our commitment to them is a lifelong commitment. And the City Life Project is going to allow us to stay in touch with them, seeing them next door at the recreation area, seeing them being involved in the HATS program. It's just another way for us to keep contact with them once they leave the shelter.
And again, this is Hearts with a Mission building behind us. You can come, actually it is already covered with scripture, so don't write anything on that building. But the other building that we have is the City Life building, the one that is still in construction. So you can come here, you can grab I don't know Kevin, what you're gonna have here, but you can write a scripture on walls and maybe pray for it. Pray for the building, pray for the kids, and help us if you can.
Well, thank you both. And again, I think that's one of the most fun things we did out with Hearts with the Mission, Kevin. I remember taking my Sharpie out there and walking through there, and quite frankly, it's an emotional time. It really is. I had my little scripture book with me, and I was pulling out certain scriptures and writing them over the door. It even gets to me talking about it because I'm thinking, you know, these kids are going to walk under the Word of God. Yeah. They're going to be covered in the Word of God, and you can go out there with your Sharpie and write scriptures on the walls and above the doors right now before it gets sheetrocked, and to know that that's going to be permanently there, and that place is dedicated to God and is covered by the power of His Word. And I don't know how all this happens. This is God's business, but somehow that word written on that wall gets into the heart of that kid. Somehow that happens, and through the services they are providing there. I want to say thank you to Bob. He called in from Medford for the $100 towards windows. Rob and Deb called in from Medford. They bought the last of the $112.50 window. Thank you. Kurt called in from Medford, gave $100 towards windows, and that's what it takes. So we're moving along. You got some more people to thank there, bud.
We do. Larry from Medford, $196 for windows. Wood from Grants Pass, $98 for a window. Sandra from Selma, $131 towards windows. Steve from Medford, $600 for a door.
There you go.
And then Stephen from Medford, $112.50 for a window. And Tammy from Medford, $65.50 towards windows.
There you go, and that's how simple it is, and whatever the Lord's leading you to do. So we got about a half hour to go here. We're going to do this throughout the day until it's complete, but I believe we can do a big chunk of it in the next 25-30 minutes, and by you just obeying what the Lord's calling you to do. And you know what's so interesting about that? Do you realize people are calling from outside the area to minister inside the city?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're not just inside Medford. Selma, Grants Pass, Phoenix, Talent, Ashland are calling in because they know that these kids need to be touched with God. And you know, as crazy as the world is, and it is crazy out there, this is where we've been called to go, and that is to minister to people one-on-one and to kids at all ages and their families. I like Kevin, you always say, and their families, you know, because you really get involved in that level of it, don't you?
Well, yeah, you have to, you know, because Jesus loves them. You know, and sometimes we overlook that. We overlook the fact that, you know, behind every youth that we're serving, you know, there's a broken family, and you know, they need God's love as much as the kid does.
All right, we're real close to. We'll get an update. I got to take a quick break, but listen, let's light up the phones over there at the Ministry Center. 779-3275. 779-3275. We're getting more updates as they're coming in. You got a couple more real quick there?
Yeah, 4 more came in. Rick and Carol from Medford, $100. For Windows, Tava and Linda from Medford, $100. Jane and Ernie, Central Point, $75, and an anonymous gift for $98 for a window.
There you go. That's, if you want to be an anonymous, we understand that. All right, 779-3275. Let's light up the phones right now. Let's get this taken care of. 779-3275. We come back. We'll go back out to the construction site with Paulina and Jesse in just a few moments. 779-3275.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Oh, what a fun day, and what an exciting time as we are asking you to prayerfully consider buying a window or a door for the City Life project in downtown Medford, right next door to Hearts with the Mission. And this isn't a dream, this isn't something that's on a piece of paper, it's literally up out of the ground. The foundation, the walls are up, the sheetings on the wall is up, the sheeting on the roof is on, the trusses are going in, and we're right to the stage of putting in the windows and the doors, and we're asking you to prayerfully buy a window or a door. We still have quite a few more windows to go at $98, but maybe you just like to give some money towards the project and they'll go towards buying a window or a door. And we still have quite a few more doors to buy at $600, and that's a complete unit, Bud?
It is, and that includes installation.
Installation. So when you're dealing with buildings like this and open to the public, then you're dealing with certain levels of codes, and they just have to be done like that. So they are expensive, but they're top quality, and that's installed. And so maybe you can partner with a family member or a friend and buy a door. So the number is 779-3275, 779-3275. You getting more calls there yet? Have you seen
we have 2 more in from when we mentioned it last. Helen from Central Point at $98 for a window. And Tanya from Grants Pass, $50 towards a window.
There you go. All right. Give us a call, 779-3275. Let's light up the phones. I think they got about 4 lines over there. They're about ready to doze off. We don't want that to happen. 779-3275. Let's go out to Paulina, who's got helmet hair, and Jesse, who found a hard hat. You guys are now OSHA compliant, so I'm glad to see that. In case somebody's watching online, they both got their hard hats on. And what's happening out there, ladies?
Well, it's a great morning out here, and the sun is shining, the work is going, the building is rising as we speak, and all it's missing is windows and doors. So help us get some windows and doors going today. With me, next to me, is Jessie Lanford. She is the shelter manager with Hearts with the Missions, and we were talking during the break about some successful stories, and I asked Jessie to share, just to give us a perspective of what this ministry does through an example. And I think you have come up with an example of one child who's gone through your program.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of kids that come through and they really become very special to you. There's a particular young lady that stayed with us for about a month this year. And just a few weeks ago, we attended her high school graduation. And then she let us know that she's got a wonderful scholarship lined up to Portland State this year. And just to think that God's allowed us to be a small part of her life and getting her to that place. She deserves all the credit, but God's used us, and it's a great feeling.
Well, that's a beautiful story. And again, Perry, you've been saying all morning, this is not about windows, it's not about doors of the building, it's about the outcome and the final product, and which is helping kids, helping a lot of the kids in our area and Jackson County. We really need this building, need this project, City Life Center and building. So if you're willing to help today, if you can, please give us a call at 779-3275 or go online to citylifeproject.org.
All right, thank you both. I mean, that says it all. You went from a shelter to Portland State.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a turned around life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, what a story. Well, folks, that's what it's really all about. And yes, it's windows and doors today, but at the end, it's about having the center strategically located in Medford to minister to any city kids, that no kid or their family would fall through the cracks. And I think we need to realize that there are a lot of people hurting out there. But I don't know how you guys can do it. I mean, I get enough phone calls, but you guys are getting the rubber to the road phone calls from kids that are just lost. They have no hope. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go.
That's true. You know, every day I hear kid stories, and it's kind of the best part and the worst part of my job, because you hear the horrific situations and the tragedies and the fact that, you know, kids are being hurt by the people that they love, and that should love them. And that's where, you know, at the very same time, we see that, you know, Jesus enters these situations, and God transforms lives. And, you know, the beauty of those kids' stories is, you know, seeing the tragedy, just like this girl, moving to a completely transformed life.
Well, folks, I tell you, this is a critical time in the construction of this building. If we can get the windows and doors paid for today, they stay on target for an early fall opening, and everything kind of has to fall into place. And by doing this window and door project today, the money that is saved in the budget that was going to be allocated here goes to a much more needed, well, another needed area, and I guess it's what, sheetrock? We still need a few more windows at $98, and maybe may the Lord's leading you $5 or $10. It's strictly what I say: pray and obey. Ask the Lord to have you to do, and if you feel the tug, that's called a faith promise. You call up and say, by faith, I'm going to pledge and buy a door or a window, whatever the Lord's leading you to do. And then watch God begin to engage heaven in your behalf, so that we can engage heaven in behalf of these kids. You got some more names there?
I do. First, I just wanted to mention Jane and Ernie from Central Point gave $75 for windows, and that is in memory of their nephew who passed away. His birthday is today.
Oh.
And then wanted to mention Deborah from Wairika, $112.50 for a window. Gillian from Eagle Point, $112.50 for a window. Terry from Eagle Point, $200 towards windows. An anonymous gift from Medford, $98 for a window.
Okay.
And Jean from Medford, $1,000 for a door plus.
Okay, awesome. There you go. Well, pray about what the Lord have you to do. The phone number is 776-536. No, that's our number. No. We need it too, but don't do it now. 779-3275. 779-3275. Paulina has been standing out there in that warm sunlight all morning. She had Jesse with her, and they're literally right behind them is the project. Let's go back to the ladies, and what do you got for us?
Well, we have a building behind us that is missing doors and windows, so we want to ask you to partner with us today. Also, here is Hearts of the Mission, and you can see the close location of these two buildings, and we've talked about, remind us of the significance of it and how this is going to help you expand your operation and help the kids.
Yeah, well, what it means for us, like we talked about, is extra space, and it's an expansion of our services and our partnership with Youth for Christ, which is what we're really excited about. The people at Youth for Christ and their staff and volunteers have been such a blessing to the staff and the kids at Hearts of the Mission. And to now be right next door to each other is going to be awesome. I can't wait.
It's wonderful. You can really see how God is working in this. And here I was thinking, and imagine that. But the scripture came to mind that unless the Lord builds the house, those who labor in vain. And I think we've been really seeing God helping this project, helping us. So we want to encourage you to pray. We're definitely praying for this project, but also pray for these people who are laboring, pray for the kids and their families. And if you can, help us. 779-3275.
That is the number, 779-3275. Got a break here coming up, but guys, this is exciting. We've been showing some video today, taken earlier of you and both of you, Kevin and Bud, walking through with Steve. And it's just got to be exciting to see a dream being realized.
Oh yeah, it is. You know, we lost a girl that we've been working with. She actually took her own life in January, and she left a real simple note: no one cares. And I'm thinking, you know, as I look at all this, we do.
Yeah. You know, that little statement right there epitomizes what this is all about. Bud, you and I saw a Facebook posting of a young girl, and I'm still trying to process that. I have it in my diary, and I pull it out once in a while during the day. It's a subtle reminder why I get up early, 4 o'clock every morning, and go on the air, and it's a subtle reminder why we're doing what we're doing here today. And in her little thing, she said, no one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares. And she's in a family, and her feeling is no one cares. And well, I tell you, yeah.
I was just going to say, you know, a local high school did a survey of the students there, and the question was asked, can you identify an adult in your life that you trust and could go to if you have trouble?
Yeah.
50% could not identify an adult that they trust, that they could go to if they were in trouble. That's not in some city somewhere. That's a local high school.
Yeah. Well, folks, we're asking you to prayerfully consider buying a door or a window today that is going to be a part of a project that is going to minister for who knows how long, God only knows, and have an impact on heaven, God only knows. Would you call 779-3275 and let them know what you are being led to do, buying a door or window or any amount the Lord's asking you to do? 779-3275, 4 lines available. Let's light them up right now. 779-3275. We've got a few more windows at $98 and a few more doors at $600. Maybe you can give $100 towards the door, $50 towards the door, $20 towards the door, whatever the Lord's leading you to do. 779-3275. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Well, this is a very, very special day here on Focus Today and at the Dove, as we are partnering up with Youth for Christ and Hearts with a Mission to help them with their City Life project, which is now clearly under construction in downtown Medford, right next door to Hearts with the Mission there on Edward Street. And if you're out driving around, you may just want to drive by and take a look at what's going on. It's a beautiful building coming up out of the ground there, and it's framed in. The walls have been sheeted, the roof has been sheeted, and there's a lot of work going on there at this project. And right now we're asking you today, we've got to get this done today, raise the funds for the windows and the doors, about 30 windows and 27 doors. I think most of the windows are being purchased. We still have a few windows left at $98, so maybe you can buy a window at $98. And we still have quite a few doors to go at $600. And the doors are a complete unit. They just go in. That includes installation. So maybe you can buy a door or partner with somebody to buy a door, or just give whatever the Lord's telling you to do towards a door. And I just want to emphasize, folks, Bud and Kevin are in the studio with me right now, and then we have Paulina out on the site with Jesse. But this isn't about a building. The building is the tool to do what God's called them to do. And they've collaborated. These two ministries are really setting a new standard by coming together and realizing that what God's called them to do as individuals, they needed to collaborate on to do it better, to do it more efficiently, and to make sure that no kid falls through the cracks. And I just want to read to you just a little bit of what this is all about. This is a quote from a Facebook posting about 2 weeks ago, Bud, or so?
Week and a half.
Whenever it is. And it says, I feel worthless anymore. That's the opening line. These pills don't help. And do you know what it's like to never be good enough? And the list goes on and on. I don't think we realize how many kids feel that way every day. They wake up with that That's what's in their heart. That's what's in their mind. And what is today going to be anything different? What hope do they have to think that today is going to be a different day for them? And this center is an opportunity for them to come in and experience a different day. Experience God's love, experience some mentoring and counseling and fellowship and help and love in ways that they thought perhaps never even existed. And to get these windows and doors purchased today is critical. We got to get this done today so that this project can stay on track. So before we got to Polina, you got any more names there, Bud, you want to thank? You haven't got an update yet?
I haven't gotten an update
Okay,
here.
we'll get you one here in just a moment. The phone number, again, if you want to buy a window or door, is 779-3275. 779-3275. A few more windows at $98 and quite a few more doors at $600, but you can give what the Lord is leading you to do. All right, let's go back out to Polina and Jesse. They're standing literally across the street in between the two buildings, Hearts with the Mission on one side and the brand new City Life Projects building on the other side. Ladies, what's happening out there?
That's right. Good morning again. Yes, we're here in downtown Medford. The weather is wonderful. The construction is going, and it's really very exciting to see the building rising as we speak, and to see how much of a progress has been made in the last 4 months. Now, we are still needing windows and doors to complete the project, but it's exciting, and it's humbling to hear all the names, Bud, that you've been mentioning here, and I saw the list of people to call, and it really is humbling to see how many of you are willing to give something of yourself, something, whatever it is, and to partner with Hearts with a Mission and Youth for Christ and help kids, because this is what we've been saying all morning. It's all about children. And I know I've been there, and I know sometimes you'll be sitting there and think, okay, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? So for those who are still contemplating and thinking whether they should give or not, Jesse, by the way, Jason Lanford is the shelter manager. What would be your message right now to those who are still thinking about maybe being partners with this project?
Yeah, well, just first of all, thank you to everyone who's gave this morning, and our community is very generous to both Hearts with the Mission and Youth for Christ, and so thank you everyone that supports us. And for those considering calling in, it's really about what Bud's already said. It's about these organizations are about providing positive adult mentors in teens' lives, and so if that's something you would be a part of, just thank you for considering us.
And don't forget to pray. Don't forget to pray for the kids, for the mentors, managers, everybody's involved in the construction, for their safety. The building is being built. We thank you for your help, and if you're still thinking about it, if you're feeling that in your heart, give us a call, 779-3275, or go online at cityproject.org.
All right, thanks, ladies. And again, the number is 779-3275, and we still have quite a ways to go here on a couple of more doors and several more windows. And you can buy a window at $98, a window at $71, and we still need 2 windows purchased at $163. Now, these are tempered glass, and I'm assuming that's in the rec area. Somewhere in there they have to be tempered. And so, again, maybe you could buy one window at $163, and somebody else can buy another one at $163, and a few more windows at $98. The phone number is 779-3275, and encouraging you to call right now, and let's do this. It's right next door to Hearts with the Mission. And I mean, your place pretty much just houses them, but you don't have a place really big enough to minister to them.
No, in fact, the whole idea of even going there was a 93-year-old school teacher gave us some money, said this is to go for your kids to have a recreation area.
Really?
Yeah, and that was like 3 or 4 months after we had opened, and we've held on to it for all that time. And so to be able to put it to good work, to really show these kids that we want them, and we want to be a part of their life.
Well, again, I want to refer back to this one little note that I have here from a young teenage girl that was writing on Facebook. I am always replaced by someone else. I have a broken family. I live in a broken home. I only get to see my dad maybe a month every other year. I feel like I don't belong anywhere I am. I mean, and that epitomizes everything you guys hear on a daily basis. And this place is a tool to be used by God, where these kids who feel like this and are living in this kind of an atmosphere can go and be ministered to in a fresh new way and given some hope. the testimony that Jesse gave us a little while ago, she went from a shelter to being accepted at Oregon State. I mean, that's the miracle life that God does.
Exactly.
You know. All right, the phone number is 779-3275. We got about 4 minutes in this hour before we have to end this part of it. So this is going to go on throughout the day. And by the way, you can go online if that's easier for you. CityLifeProject.org. You can see the complete list of everything there, and that's safe and secure. You get any more update there? Okay.
We do.
Okay.
We've got Autumn from Medford, $100 towards windows. Steve and Linda from Medford, $100 towards windows. Jerry and Cheryl, Medford, bought a door at $600. Jean from Medford, $50 for windows. Diane, Eagle Point, $600 for a door.
There you go.
And Melody from Talent, $200 towards windows.
There you go, 779-3275. Let me run back out quickly to Paulina. We only got a couple of minutes here, Paulina. What's your last thoughts before we have to let you go out there?
Well, my last thought is thank you, and thank God, of course, for this wonderful project. It is, like I said before, it's amazing to see what's happening, and it's amazing to see what's happening right now behind us. You've been hearing this noise, construction going, people working really hard to make this happen for the kids in our area. And I want to thank Jesse Lanford for working with the children all these years, and congratulate you on this project. Any final thoughts from you?
No, just thank you to the Dove, and thank you to our community, and it's been a great morning to be a part of this.
Thank you both for being out there, Paulina and Jesse, and Kevin and Bud here. We got about 2.5 minutes left here. Again, just for this program, this is going to go on throughout the day. You can call anytime throughout the day at 779-3275. And Bud and Kevin has gotten their volunteers together to take your phone calls throughout the day. And we'll keep you updated throughout the day, and then we'll give you a final recap tomorrow on the morning show. But we really need for you to do this. This is the day that we need to do this. And by getting this done, what's it do to the overall project and keeping you guys on track? I don't know your timelines, but
well, we're hoping to be done by November, and so there's a lot of work to be done, and that's where right now we've got a lot of holes in the walls instead of windows, and we need to fill them, and a lot of holes in the walls inside that need to be filled with doors.
All right, so there's 30 windows and 27 doors, and you're doing a great job with it right now. We're not done. We got a ways to go. 779-3275 is where you call and let them know what the Lord's leading you to do in the way of helping to buy a door or a window, and they'll take the information down from you from there. Or if it's easier for you, you can go online at the CityLifeProject.org, CityLifeProject.org, and you can give online there. That's safe and secure. Well, guys, this has been fun. Let's see what the Lord does throughout the day, and it's a beautiful project. I commend you both for coming together. I just think you guys are pioneers in setting a new way to do ministry. Let's work smarter, you know, and that's what it's all about. And I'm just really thrilled with what God's going to do here and keeping you guys. And you're looking for November, right? Open?
Yes.
All right.
We've got a little leeway. Our lease runs out in January, but
where you are,
yeah, where we are. So
I'd move you in here, but I don't know where I'd put you.
Well, hey, thanks for the invite. I'll remember that.
All right, here's the phone number: 779-3275. That's going to be going on all day long. And if the Lord's been kind of nudging on you to do this thing, well, you by faith step out and do it and see what the Lord does. Let's get these windows and doors purchased today so that they can go ahead and get them installed and keep going on with this project. We want to get some sheeting on that roof and get them in there right away. And here's the number: 779-3275, or online at thecitylifeproject.org. There you'll see a complete list of the windows and doors, and you can give right there online. That's safe and secure. Bud and Kevin, thank you guys for getting up early.
Thank you, and thanks to these folks. There's a ton of folks that called in and were a part of it.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I work at the Dove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us.